Yep, it
governor's.
says repassed Senate, passed Assembly, so must be it.
I think it just had to be
Why
signed.
they get repassed and then, I'm not sure. But it's, when we, put the letter in for Nick Yazinski about the naming the road, it has passed, and, DOT is gonna put signage up for the Nick Yazinski Road, signs from 28 to the village, I think, this side of the village. Or is it from the whole way to 257?
21?
Maybe it's 221. Of course, the highway system is, this doesn't say.
This doesn't-
Somebody asked me if they were doing Purple Heart designation on that.
That's, I mentioned that at the Veterans Services
Yep.
Committee. They were asking about it. I said, geez, if the state did this, you know, maybe they could tie, there'd be some funding for the Purple Heart.
Because there's a couple of them downstate that I've seen that do have that.
Right. Well, they're getting cost, they're getting some quotes on how much a sign would cost. And right now, they're talking 10 and 28, no, 10 and 206, maybe parts of 28. And they would really like to put a couple county roads on it too that are well-traveled.
Okay.
You know, where they come in from another county and go out to another county.
Mike, is there any word about a memorial, a dedication service?
Just as a letter saying that it's been approved and,
Okay.
you know,
I think they're waiting on word from the governor's office.
Oh, yes, it's
well,
on.
right, well, it
But I
says
thought I
here,
saw on TV where he's at.
That's what I thought too.
well, this was June 20th, there was a
So
letter.
it could have been.
So it says here, now needs to be delivered to the governor for his signature. My office will get notification from the governor's office once he has signed the legislation and the law. I will then follow up with you and inform you of such enactment. I, along with Senator Seward, am pleased that we could assist in this vital matter. So, that's from Cliff Crouch, that letter is. And Jim Seward's, I presume, probably says the same thing, the other way, from the Senate. So that's, there's no, I haven't heard from him. Don, you haven't heard
No.
anything from him either? So, you know, it's, hopefully, it's coming. That's all, it is coming, it's just when. Okay. There is a public hearing for the planning board on Thursday, June 7th, about the special use permit for Jim
Shaw's.
Shaw's
John Shaw.
motorcycle shop he's got. He's been operating it for the last 3-4 years, I think, 2-3 years, and he wants to just make it official, state approved, town approved. So that's what he's going through, the special use permit application, which is a good thing. And the last Rockaway, that did pass, I think that was that official last, you said something about the Rockaway in the minutes.
Yeah, it was.
It was approved.
Yep.
And, so that was actually, that's what it was. It's not actually just a boys getaway, it's boys, girls, you
Yeah.
know, kids
Kids.
retreat. And they are applying for tax exemption on the whole parcel, which is wrong end of it, that's up the assessor. Okay, we had the Treadwell Water meeting last Tuesday. And everything, they're having some issues up there about having to, expand the water system. The state, they're talking they're gonna have to buy a 45,000 gallon storage tank, was that? Here, you went to Don, And,
Which is in the works.
which is in the works, you know, it's gonna be a state mandate that it's gotta be done, and upgrades, they're looking, they've got 2 wells they're using, and the one is running 24/7, but the other one has got sulfur, and they don't like the, people complain about the sulfur water. No?
No,
Well,
not me.
there have been some complaints, is what I understand, so they don't use that one,
My water's fine.
you know, as much as,
If they pump into the reservoir, wouldn't the sulfur go off it?
I guess some
The
does, but
area
it's
that-
still,
The other part they have with it is they stated that they have more cleaning conditioning issues with the sulfur. So that's why you're, because they run that well very little,
right,
if none at all,
Yeah,
only in
so-
emergency status.
they would,
So that's the main reason why they stay away from it, because it would make sense, but the big issue is,
The treatment.
the
exactly.
treatment of, yeah, the cleaning, and they are talking, are anticipating that they might need another well, or want another well.
Let me guess, the state says you gotta do this, but no funding.
Well, they wanna find somebody that would help write grants. Because, and there's another issue up there,
Is the pipe.
is the pipes, going out 14 or 16, going to Delhi from the intersection.
16.
All the houses on the left-hand side of the road are fed from, you're not above the firehouse?
That's 14.
I'm next to the fire, not 2
No.
doors down.
All
On the other
the
side.
pipes going up and down 14 are.
14,
fed
going from
across.
Treble to Delhi. On the left-hand side of the road are fed from the right-hand side of the road, individually. This is where Clyde Kellogg had to redo his last year, and Klaus Sons, I think, has had to redo his, and there's like 8 more. But there is a issue with old piping under the road, which we're saying old because it's that 4-letter word. And,
Which is not, because of their treatment, has not been a water
right, hasn't been
quality
an issue, because
issue.
they've been ash and stuff to keep under control. But it is, as lead pipe, so they're thinking that, you know, they might be able to get grants and stuff because
Because of
of
that.
the lead pipe, getting rid of that. And what they're talking is possibly putting a sub-main across the road and then teeing it off to the houses instead of individual 8 more lines across under the road, which is not a good thing. So that's all talk, it's all things that we're, you know,
They'd like to get a grant to redo the piping,
Yeah.
possibly a well.
And
But I did kind of get the impression that pressure, that holding tank, there was funding that was
maybe,
possibly
right.
coming in action with that.
right.
That was that, oh, what was his name, Ray? He was the one that mentioned that does the testing.
Oh,
Brenton?
Brenton.
Yes, yeah.
More.
Yeah, these all taken care of. They've had some testing issues up there, and there's some letter I got about some more testing issues. They said they were having issues and that they had to.
It was a lapse.
Oh, lapse because they had to change
companies,
labs,
yes.
and the state wasn't catching on to it too fast or something.
So they ended up having to duplicate documents and send them, the company that they started up with, duplicate
Right.
documents and sent it to the state, and then they got it cleared that things have been right the way they're supposed to be done.
Right,
But it was basically the state didn't follow up on the paperwork that they were sending them.
right. Yeah, so I'll call them again on that issue. We can open the meeting up to questions and try to give you some answers. Yes,
I just have a comment. I think you're doing a great job with the roads.
Thank you.
thank you. Our equalization rate went up 3%. Which, different people say different reasons why it's good or bad, so I'm not sure. Our assessor says it's a good thing, because our share goes down what we pay the county, and the county says it's a bad thing.
Cause they want more of
Because they
our
gotta pay
money.
more.
Yeah, maybe because they think they think it, you know, the county says negative numbers are bad, positive numbers are good, and so on.
So, if I remember, was it 96 last year, so?
No, 93.
93, so now.
93, now it's 96.
Okay.
I think that said one up to 3.1, I think, and I got the paperwork from the county, this sheet here. And it says, it makes sense. We were at 93, tentative is 96, and by the way, Franklin is the only one that has it. The other one hadn't had it out yet, none of the other towns.
Had one.
Had the equalization rate
Oh,
already out, where no other towns did, and I had to squeeze it out of Mike Sabansky to, you know, give us credit where credit's due, Mike. I said, what town was the one that did it? He says, you know who it was. But it says, the tentative is down, it says minus 3.13, but it went from 93 to 96. So, I don't know. But that's the figures that were thrown at us. But at this time, this was as of, God, it was in June sometime. I was like, yeah, that was at the end of, towards the end of the 23rd of June, I think was our board meeting in June. 21st, maybe. And they said at that time, you know, that Franklin was the only one that had it, and this is May 23rd, so. But I'm sure they've fallen in the row now, and some are gonna be 15% difference. You know, I think Hancock is gonna really jump because of the reval. That's gonna change a lot, so. But that's on the assessment from the Department of Taxation and Finance. Department of Health, I'll get a hold of the Treadle Water District for that. The roads.
That's just for the new account.
Okay.
There's a letter in there that I drafted.
Oh,
You can sign it and take it to the bank.
oh, okay.
And then Garrett will have to sign, just like we did.
Oh, okay, this is for the pipeline, the road use agreement?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'll just sign this, and then Garrett's gotta go to the bank too? Jeez, we're gonna have a hell of a party.
I don't think y'all have to go at the same time.
What we got from the Constitution, the road use agreement was $56,175 is what the check's for. And what we're gonna do is put it in a special account to go, not to be used only for if and when it starts back up, or, you know, it's gonna be a couple, you know, we'll let it sit there for at least a couple years before we indulge in it for something else, just to make sure things are, you
Well,
know,
some of that's already spent
Okay.
on lawyers.
Yeah.
on lawyer fees. It should be, because there was substantial money spent, you know,
Well,
getting it done.
if the pipeline doesn't go forward, eventually they'll have to withdraw it
For
for their application. At that point, you can.
that point,
Then be
right,
free to
then
spend
be
it.
free of it, right. But until then, we'll just leave it in a savings account and let it, you know, sit there and it's available. So are you gonna use?
I'm gonna withdraw that money once you open that account, and I'm gonna put it back in the general A.
Just to
where we
pay the
spent.
lawyer expenses that and engineering
Correct.
expenses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's probably gonna be close to 20,000 probably
There is
taken out to cover
maybe a little more,
expenses.
not much, but
But we'll still
right
have,
around.
but
20.
the rest of it, anything that is pipeline associated, that's the only thing it will be used for. It'll be kept for that purpose down the road. Okay. Is there any questions from anybody?
Yeah.
Yes,
The state requires towns to have a code of ethics. Franklin Code of Ethics is like 45 years old. As far as I can tell, it was copied from when the county last
Mhm.
passed their Code of Ethics. So last year,
The county has redone theirs.
redone theirs the first time in 45 years.
Right,
It
right.
seems like the Franklin should.
Franklin ought to look at the counties and see if it's something we
We've
ought
already
to
looked
do.
at it and voted
Right,
for it.
right, I mean, just as a town board and stuff,
Right.
ought to look at it, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's just common sense, I mean, yeah, I'll get a copy of it and we'll get copies made and it's a good concern to keep updating, because just in case, I mean, there's concern out there, there's no doubt, and there, you know, we've got it, the code of ethics should be kept up and go from there. But this, I guess just to, let's see, I'll sign this, then you'll take it to the bank. Paul, you want me to, or?
I can take it if you want, but you have to sign,
at
open the
bank, too?
account.
Okay, well, so why don't you hang out, I'll sign this, then I'll go to the bank and they'll have the paperwork for me to sign? Or you'll, how do we,
I assume so, but it may take some time.
right, right,
I can talk to Lon about it. See.
okay,
I talked to her before and she's like, it was gonna be the same as we did before when we had to switch to deputies,
right,
you know.
right, yep. Okay, well then I'll let you hold on to this check.
Okay.
I don't trust Dawn.
She's gonna be unemployed here.
I am, yeah, in like 2
10
weeks,
days.
so.
Thank you, Paul, for
Mm-hmm.
following through on that, or getting it going anyway. Okay, is there anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
That sounds good.
All in favor?
Aye.
After the meeting, does anybody want a copy of the proposed local law?
Got it there.
Yep, we got 'em. I had Dawn